Hi, I'm Charlie from cookingsecretsformen.com. So in my last video, I talked about moving from our house in Milwaukee to a condo down on the Milwaukee River and not having a working kitchen in my home for the foreseeable future until we get settled in our new place. So I'm here on location in beautiful Leland, Michigan, here at our cottage. This is Lake Leland all behind me. I'm here to answer some questions that some subscribers were good enough to ask me. I posed in my last video, send me questions, I'll give you a shout out, and answer the questions. So I'm going to answer the questions as best I can. Most of them were pretty straightforward, and there's one at the end that's a little fun. So I'm going to start out, I'm going to read these. The first question comes from Tess, and her channel is My Mom's Recipes Deleted by Alzheimer's. As the title suggests, she's recreating many of her mom's recipes, most of which have been lost because of her mom's Alzheimer's diagnosis. Tess is a great supporter of my channel. She comments on almost every video. Really appreciate it. But she also has some excellent recipes on her site, most of which are her mom's and a lot of which she's either tweaked or made on her own. So check out Tess at My Mom's Recipes Deleted by Alzheimer's. And here's her question. What is your work or business besides YouTube videos and blogging? But my hunch is you may be retired. So yes, I'm actually retired. Not too long, but I've stopped working full-time. I still do projects here and there. I was a recruiter for many years, technical recruiter, independent, working for different companies in the various cities I've lived in, Washington, D.C., Cincinnati, and now Milwaukee. And I've reached the point where time to turn it down a notch. So yes, Tess, I am retired. Appreciate your question, and I do like your channel. You know I watch it all the time, and appreciate your support. Second question comes from Sophia at Beat the Rush, and coincidentally gave her a shout out the last time we had a video. Her channel is about creating new recipes and recreating vegetarian alternatives to old favorites. Her channel is called Beat the Rush, and beet is spelled like the vegetable, B-E-E-T. And Sophia asks the question, why are you moving? Another good question. Two reasons. First is strictly financial. We happen to time the market very well. Got out at the top, sold for more than we were looking for, quite honestly. And the second reason is that we plan to retire up here in Michigan. We're building a house on some property we have in the back, and we're going to build a modest one-story home, which is age appropriate for people approaching 70. You know, one floor, not a lot of yard work. So that was the other thing. So we're moving to a condo right now in Milwaukee, which kind of is the same thing. One floor, not a lot of maintenance, so we get used to living in a smaller space on one floor. So that is a question from Sophia. And Sophia, I do like your channel. I appreciate you taking the time. All right, next question comes from Margaret's Make and Bake. And she's a wonderful baking channel. Lots of great baking recipes. I wholly admit I'm not a baker. So I'm always amazed at the skill of people who are into and do a lot of baking. So Margaret asks, what is your favorite dish to make and why? I get that question a lot from people who know me. What do you like to cook? What's your best recipe? And my short answer is I don't have one. I like to cook. Actually, I like to eat. So therefore, I like to cook. If I could eat something every day, I'd probably eat pasta. But, you know, I didn't get to be this slim, trim guy by eating salads every day. So I do eat a lot of pasta. But in terms of cooking, I like all ethnicities. I like all types of food. Not particularly a baker. I will do some baking, but I'm open to cooking anything. And as you look through my channel, you can see there's an eclectic mix of different things. So Margaret, I do appreciate the question. I'm sorry I don't have a better answer than I don't really have a favorite dish, but I do like to cook just about everything. All right, the next question is from Sandy from My Aji's Kitchen, and Aji is Hindi for granny, so this is her grandmother's. Characterizes her channel as a place where Caribbean food recipes are shared so that old ones will not be forgotten and new ones are discovered. Sandy has a very pronounced welcome on her videos. It's "Hello there!" Very friendly, just a very jovial person. I love her videos. She just likes to cook different things. She has certainly a Caribbean bent, but cooks everything there is. She doesn't have any limits. So, Sandy's question is, have you always enjoyed cooking? And there's a second part to it. It says, we would love to see your camera person cook with you. Well, my camera person is me. It's on a tripod, so unfortunately there is no other person but me doing these things. Have you always enjoyed cooking? I would say a qualified yes. Growing up in the 50s and 60s, and then high school and college in the 70s, you know, your idea of gourmet is having Munster cheese on a cheeseburger. There wasn't that need to be creative, but for me, cooking is a creative outlet. It's one of the few creative things that I do. I love to cook. I love to try different things. One of the things I love to do is go to a restaurant. Oh, you can hear the boats behind us. I love to go to restaurants and recreate dishes that I've had there. Some of my recipe posts on my website show that. But I think probably I grew up working in restaurants. My parents owned restaurants, so it came as second nature. And now my wife is an excellent cook. Both of my sons, who are 29 and 27, are excellent cooks. They feel very at home in the kitchen, and that's one of the things I'm glad I've passed on to them. So I do enjoy cooking. It's something, as most of us have learned to be more creative in our meal preparation. So, and I got two more. This one's from Regina Sober, Eat, Travel, Life, and that is about what her channel is about. Eating, traveling, and just life in general. She's also located here in Michigan, more towards central Michigan. Her question is, it's kind of the same as one of the others, is, what dish do you like to make that takes you back to when you were a kid? I would say spaghetti and meatballs. I'm Italian, my dad's Italian, my grandfather's Italian, and one of my childhood memories is having our red sauce with meatballs, cooking in them, cooking overnight, and you could just smell the garlic. You could just smell the everything, the aroma of that sauce as it thickened in the pan. So almost every holiday we had spaghetti and meatballs. Christmas, New Year's, not Thanksgiving. We actually had a turkey. Easter, you name it, we had spaghetti and meatballs. And now I have my own recipe that I've gotten from my dad, and now both of my boys also know how to cook the red sauce and make fresh pasta. So thank you, Regina. Appreciate it. Great channel. And we share a love of Michigan. She actually lives here. I'm a resorter. We just come in vacation here. And my final question is a little bit of whimsy. It's from Bones of Cajun Renew BBQ. And Renew is R-N-E-W BBQ. Cajun Renew BBQ. And Bones is the proprietor of that website. So these are his questions, and I don't take any pride in authorship here because I didn't write them. If you can't see John Cena, how do we know he's been in all those movies? So the short answer for me is, I don't know. And the second question is, if you can't bake in Bakelite, shouldn't it have a different name? And the short answer is yes. So I do appreciate Bones. He does have a great sense of humor. He's one of my barbecue buddies that have come to know on YouTube. That whole barbecue community is just so much fun. They love to have a good time. And as you can see from Bones' questions, he likes to have a good time. So that's it for now. I'm going to have some more videos coming out soon. And if you have any questions, please send them to me. You can ask them in the chat or send them to my email address. Either way, I'll be glad to answer them. As always, I appreciate everyone's support. You all are great. Thanks for the questions. If you have more questions, let me know. Otherwise, thanks for watching. I appreciate you taking the time.